Tell 'em run it all.
What is going on? What is going on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up,
Flex.
thumb down now.
Check.
No drip, this.
Wet.
Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no
Rest.
Might crash, might
Wreck.
but first I
Stretch.
Tell 'em run it up. I wake up,
Flex.
thumb down now.
Check.
No drip, this.
Wet.
Tell 'em run it up. I wake up,
Flex.
thumb down now.
Check.
No drip, this.
Wet.
Tell 'em run it up.
What is going on? What is going on? It is Tech Thursday, DJ Tech Thursday. We are live and in the mix. There we go. It's a little better. If you saw my table, you would know that it's an absolute mess of a table. I got random things. Like, why do I have a hanger? Just a random hanger. Just in the way. I have too many cords. I got plugs. Actually, I think that plug goes to the Mixon. XLRs. Random Beats headphones, just chilling for no reason. I never use these things. I don't know why I don't use these things. They're actually for just listening to stuff. These are great headphones. These are the Beats Studios. Good headphones, but they don't need to be on my desk. I don't know why they're on my desk. Random stickers, just stickers upon stickers. I'm not quite sure what is happening today. I have been exceptionally unorganized. I'm not going to lie to you, exceptionally unorganized. It started when my brother-in-law and his wife came out to stay with us for a few days. That was that was last week when I went to Disneyland. Have I been on since Disneyland? Have I been on? No, because no, I was. So I had to move all the stuff out of my spare room, aka aka where I put all my boxes for all the review stuff that I have. Like every box that I own, every box that's been delivered here has gone into that room. And I had to move it all out. So I took it all and moved it, I sent some stuff back, broke down a lot more, put some stuff in the garage, and everything else kind of came back into my studio. So I still have not organized it, because right after that show, I basically had to get on a plane to go to Arizona to do an event out there. And then came back, had another event on Saturday. You guys know the drill. Everybody has the events. So I've been looking to try to clean up my room. I just can't, because it's been the busiest we've ever been, and not complaining, just an acknowledgement. Yesterday, I was on the phone from 10 o'clock until I think about 6 by the time I finished all my stuff. That was nonstop phone calls or Google Meets or Zooms or whatever. And for whatever reason, it feels like, you guys all know this. We're all DJs, and we all have either multi-ops or single ops or whatever. You ever feel like, first off, do you ever feel like your seat is dropping down when it shouldn't be? And it is. You ever feel like, and this is with all due respect, but do you ever feel like you are the smartest person in the room when you shouldn't be? You ever feel like when you're on phone calls with people, all the protocols that you put in place to prevent them from asking silly questions are being completely disregarded? And you're trying your hardest to not come off like an asshole, but things are so obvious and in front of them that you're sitting there like, well, I don't understand. You, you want to see my prices? You mean the prices that automatically got sent to you? You do have my prices, right? Yes, I do. I just want to talk about your packages. But you have the package list, right? With all the breakdowns. You have that, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we can talk about the packages that are right in front of you. Let's just go over them real quick. So it says here I'm getting this. Is that correct? Something's really wrong with my chair today. And you just have to kind of just sit there and smile. Yes, that is correct. Oh, yes, you're getting that and more. That was my day yesterday. And the worst part of my day is obviously, I use Calendly, which works great. In theory, every so often, you just get people that are not smart technically. And what will end up happening is they will random schedule. And then you're sitting there. You're like, okay, you look at your calendar. Like, okay, my first call is 10 o'clock. My last call is at, 4:30. Then I have to go do a site visit. Cool. All right, we'll go do that. Start getting on phone calls. You're calling people. They're not there. You get on your Google Meet. You're sitting there for 10 minutes. Nobody comes on. I had a person yesterday who had a scheduled their appointment twice. They were scheduled on 2 different times of my day yesterday. Google Meets, scheduled. I sat on these Google Meets. They didn't show up. Like, okay, fine. So when it didn't show up, which happens on occasion, I usually email, hey guys, I was on the call. You guys weren't there. So you have to reschedule now. No big deal. So I get off, I look at my calendar. I'm like, oh, look, in 35 or 40 minutes, they're going to be back on again. Okay, cool. So I'm assuming then I'm like, okay, maybe they rescheduled and didn't realize how to cancel the previous call. So I'll let that slide. I get on again. I think it's around 12:15. I wait again. Nobody comes on. So now I'm like, okay, whatever. Moving on to the rest of my calls. In the meantime, I'm getting emails. Hey, we're here. When are we going to do this call? We're here? We're where? Because I'm on a new Google Meet and I think it's the same link. I emailed them and I said, hey guys, I've been on the last 2 meetings that you guys haven't showed up for. Really? Well, I have a Zoom link. Where do you have a Zoom link from? Oh, well, we scheduled a Zoom link. You did not schedule a Zoom link with me. Oh, this was for a Google Meet. I pick up the phone, call the guy. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with this email. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? Hey, I'm not really good at technology. So I scheduled a Zoom. We were waiting for you, but you didn't show up. You never told me there was a link for a Zoom anything in the Google. There's a Google location. It says click here to join. Oh, I'm not really good at technology. Oh, and I don't have Gmail. You don't need Gmail. It sends it to any email. Obviously, I'm saying that with a smile on my face. But the facts are, that was my day yesterday. It seemed like every single person that I talked to was just inept at everything that involves the computer, involves, I don't know, their cell phone. It was a lot yesterday. Now, today, same thing. I don't necessarily know the people, but same thing. I'm on, see, my wife's going to a Pink concert and I'm working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah. And my wife's going to Pink, so I'm on daddy duty, which means I got to take the kids out. I got to handle all the kids, plus do all my work, plus prepare for this weekend, which we have 9 events. 10. Sorry, we have an event on Friday. And I'm DJing at this place called Coppermine on Friday night. There's a lot going on. I want to point out DJ Ace with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, fam. Appreciate you on that one. Thank you for supporting the cause. If there are several ways to do it, super chats are a very easy way. Also becoming a member. That's great for the ongoing support of the channels, like buying me a cup of coffee or, I don't know, a cheap tequila somewhere. Appreciate you. If you don't know how to become a member or how to support, look down below. There's either a member button or a join button. I believe if you're on your phone, if you don't see it, you have to go to my actual profile, and then you can join from the member from there. Okay. What do we want to talk about today? What do we want to talk about? Today, I will be off at 12. I got too many calls, and I have to be able to make lunch before I'm no longer able to leave my seat. Aaron, the DJ in the building. What's going on? Philip Tan in the building. Lance Jackson, Seanster, DJ Kenny, Pablo Miami also checking in. Good to see you. I saw Catherine up top. Who else is up here? Who else? We got Ashley is here. Raymond Wright. So it looks like people. I love when the new people come in because they just start asking questions. DJ Tech Thursday, ask. And I'm like, I'm not ready for any questions. I haven't even warmed up the brain yet. Now my brain is warmed up. You see, I tell a story. I work the brain through. It doesn't require you guys to have to think of something immediately to talk about. And just makes the world easier for both of us, for you, for me, for all of us. Seanster, missed you too, man. Jay Book in the building. Good to see you, fam. I'm getting your information, by the way. I'm getting your information. What has happened? Patrick C with the PLX Cross 12s. Congratulations. Yeah, so we got a nice little core following happening right now. I appreciate that. Always good to have an extra hanger. So I don't know if because we don't have an extra person in here. We actually have less people now that my oldest, has left and she's on her own. But I remember maybe a couple years ago, and my wife was complaining while she was doing the laundry that we're out of hangers. Why are we out of hangers? How can we be out of hangers? So, after enough complaining, I took it upon myself to go on Amazon, and I think I ordered like a box or multiple boxes of like 100 hangers. 100 hangers or more. Guess what? She's complaining again that we don't have hangers. Every time she's doing laundry, she's in everybody's room trying to figure out where the hangers are, and she's taking every single spare hanger and never has enough. Now, I can speak for myself and say, I've probably over the past 2 years or so, maybe added a few things to my wardrobe. Maybe a couple of new convention t-shirts, something that, Rick Webb or somebody sent me a new shirt or whatever. Never a lot. I haven't been buying stuff for myself. Why? Because I got kids. Can't buy anything for yourself when your kids take all your money. So I know that I haven't really participated in taking over all the hangers, but there are no more hangers. I always wonder where my money goes at the end of every month. I don't understand. I make good money. Where's my money? And then I notice all the hangers missing. Okay. Let's answer a question. Let's see here. Still haven't gotten a new phone. I'm still rocking the iPhone 13 with this old ass lightning port. Who uses lightning anymore? That's so 2022. I'm going to get one. Just haven't had the urge. Not a money issues, nothing. I just haven't had the urge to just, I don't know, start the process. I get when I'm trying to buy something, and let's say, something, all the hype's out there. Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. And then like pre-sale Friday. And I go to put the order in Friday, some point in Friday. I didn't get up at the crack of dawn like normal. I'm not like 18 years old, so excited for a new phone now. So Friday, sometime, could have been like 2:00. I don't know. I'm like, you know what? Let me put my order in. I go to start putting the order in. And this was like the 20th or 22nd or whatever. And when it tells me your order will be delivered, like November, I'm like, I don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm over it now. It'll come back. I'm probably just going to, at some point, I'll just walk into Verizon and see if they have one in stock. Okay. Questions. Let's do this. Let's do these questions because that's what you guys are all here for. All these questions. Raymond Wright says, what are your thoughts on Engine DJ not pursuing stems on their standalone gear? They are pursuing stems on their standalone gear. Did I miss something? Because I know that the Denon Prime 4 Plus is in stems beta right now. So I would say that they are pursuing, unless I've been out of the loop. I haven't been looking at any tech lately. So maybe I turned around and they're like, we're done. We're done with stems. We know that it's one of the most popular things that DJs have had in their toolkit for, I don't know, decades. But, I don't think we need to pursue it. Maybe I missed that. I don't think I did. But hey, like I said, I haven't been in the game. Okay. Ruben asks, what's going on, Ruben? I didn't see you there. How do you handle your mental health with all the work shenanigans and family? Drugs. No. This is actually a good question. Because every day is an absolute new day, and not every day is going to be like it was yesterday. Some days are harder. Some days are easier. Technically they never get easier because I never feel like, even when I'm like, okay, I don't have anything to do today, I still have a shit ton of things to do today. I've just put those things to the side. But in general, for myself, I find that working out consistently is huge for my mental health. Huge. Also, edibles won't kill you. To try to calm those nerves a little bit on occasion. But that's about it. It's, we live kind of a lonely life. Fortunately, I do have a partner. So sometimes when like it's becoming overwhelming, I'll just call him and be like, oh, man, I'm dying here. Not because we're not getting the work done, but because there's so much work that you can't, you feel like you're drowning and you just need a lifeline, and then just having somebody to bounce it off of, like, I hope we have everything covered. And he's like, we do. I checked. You checked. I checked. My chair keeps going down. I don't know what this chair is possessed. I'm lighter than I was, and it's still, chair just goes down. Okay. But family is a whole nother animal. I think once you get to a certain point in your life, you start to realize that, like, stuff happens, things are always going to happen. All you can do is the best that you can do. I have kids that are in lots of activities. I have a senior in college, in high school, that we're trying to get into college. I have an older daughter who's out of the house, but she still has her own drama. I have the work life. I got the wife life. That's a whole another entity in its own. You know, kids that are in dance spending ridiculous amounts of money. That's why when everybody's like, "Oh, you're rolling in," I know that's the common joke that I'm rolling in money. I got too many things going on, so I'm not rolling in money. I'd love to be. I should be. I mean, I make good money, and without, those things that are hanging over me, I'd be living a pretty damn good life. But priorities are your kids. Well, that's what my wife says anyway. My wife says priorities are your kids. I just keep telling myself that they need to spend all this money. They need dance in their lives because it's so motivating and uplifting, and it keeps them out of prison and jail sex. I got to tell I got to tell my brain these things because if not, I'll. Anyway, all right, let's see what else we got here. So yes, to answer your question, my mental health and your mental health probably are all in the same, and it's just really just how you manage your day to day. Because if you try to look at the world as a whole, as a big picture thing, you'll probably go crazy. But if you can tackle it piece by piece, things get a little easier. I mean, after the pandemic, there was a lot of things that we're working through, and I'm clearing up things as we're speaking now. But all you can do is your best. If you need more money, you work some more gigs, you work some side jobs, you do whatever you need to do. Most of the time, most stress comes from financial. And there's only so much that we can do. The world's kind of coming apart right now. Inflation is stupid. Gas is stupid. Groceries are stupid. Everything's stupid right now. So I guess I don't want to be a part of this stupidity because it's out of my control. And I never get angry when things are out of my control. I get mad when there's something that I could have done and I didn't do and I screwed something up. But anything out of my control, I'm like, that's the world. That's what's going on right now. I can't do anything about it. Drives my wife crazy because she likes to complain about everything that she can't change. And I'm just like, can't change it. We might as well move on. All right, let's go to another question. Don't drink cheap anything. I said you buying me something. I don't put cheap stuff in my mouth. Oh my God, I had the worst tequila and out in where was I? I was in Arizona. And yeah, I was like, I'll get a drink. I'm just chilling. I got nothing to do. I'm a day early and everything was closed except for it was like a CVS or something like that. Anyway, they had Hornitos. Has anybody had Hornitos? I will never have Hornitos ever again. That's not tequila. I don't know what that is. That was like cough syrup. It was I had a glass of it and I just threw the bottle in the trash. I'm like, this is terrible. Terrible. Now, of course, I'm a little jaded. I've been drinking, Casamigos and Don Julio and even the cheap stuff I buy is like something with the M. Mingali or I don't know. It's in a blue bottle. Anyway. And what was the last thing I bought? Long story short, Don Julio was the last thing I bought when my relatives came over. They bought the Don Julio over. I had never had Don Julio. It's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. Says Pablo, do you use sparklers, fog canyons? I use both of them. As a matter of fact, we used them over the weekend. I use sparklers all the time, and we use our cryo all the time. Don't you really use fog? But you might be talking about cryo when you're talking about fog anyway. Let's see. Do I have any video? I probably have some video here, but I use them all the time. I use them smartly. I know that when you say sparklers to people, there's always this weird concern and connotation that the building's going to burn up. Building's going to burn up. This is bad. Look, first off, be smarter than the sparkler. If you're buy something flammable, move the damn sparkler. If the ceiling is low, lower the sparkler output. There are so many ways to get around being stupid. Is that the theme of today? Stupid? Don't be stupid? I think it is. But there are many ways to get around being stupid. Educating yourself is obviously the first thing, but we are in a position to where not everything that we use has to be tried for the first time on your party. You can actually, test the damn things out. You can go to a secure area and then put it through the paces. This is what it looks like at height 1. This is what it looks like at height 2. This is the maximum height. How high does this go? What am I seeing? What is the spark spread? What am I dealing with here? Where's the powder residue ending up? So when I see stupid posts of things catching on fire, and it's always like these, these kind of, actually, it's pretty much always in the Middle Eastern countries. They're always taking it one step too far. The last one I saw, those didn't look like regular sparklers. I think they were using like pyrotechnics, because sparklers don't do that at all. So yes, to answer your question, I use sparklers. I use cryo. I use a seat that, for whatever reason, keeps falling on me. Hold on, let me find my SD cards. Oh, there they are. I shot some video that I have yet to edit. I kind of looked at it yesterday. There's my HDMI cord. Hopefully. Okay. Let me get this working. Be right back. Oh, so many options. So many options to put in here. Yo, I just booked my first wedding. Yeah? Dope. When is it? Next week. Can you believe it? Next week. Okay. Do you have any gear? Yeah. I have 2 12-inch speakers. Okay. Well, you might want to rent or borrow somebody's sub. Okay. All right. That's cool. What about microphone? You have a microphone? Well, I have a corded microphone. Yeah, again, you might want to go out and rent or borrow somebody's wireless microphone. Okay. A week from now is pretty quick. Do you have all the music? Do you have everything they need? I have some music, but I have like my SoundCloud streaming service, and if I need to, YouTube. How much are they paying you? Bro, 6 hours plus the ceremony, $300. Oh, you're good. Yeah? Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. Have a good time. Sweet. Thanks, man. Sorry. I'm literally, I'm trying to find this thing here. Okay. This might be it. All right. I'm trying not to, get up. This is going to go up on my IG today. I can't play it for you though, because it'll demonetize the show. Sorry. But you will see this that I absolutely loved. Not gonna play any music for you. But speaking of sparklers, so this one was a small one. I only had 2 sparklers here, but you can see, oh, don't fall. Give them a little live action, but I keep it low on this one. Cause too high and it just, you lose the ability to really use it anyway. So, he's just going off. He's going off. And then his friends popped up here, started doing the body rolls. It was pretty insane, you know? Yeah, there's a lot of gyrating here. Oh, and here comes his friend. Oh, check that out. Just chaos. Just chaos. But let me find the let me find the cryo. All right, here we go. Yeah, okay. All right. So here's a cryo. You can see right there to your left. This is the CO2 container. One thing to note, because you will learn this as you go, but a lot of times they won't tell you this. Some people have them, some don't. In this canister here, right here, in this canister, there's two different ways to fill a canister. All right. And basically the nozzle that goes in, imagine like a straw. Okay. There are two different kinds. There's a regular one, and then there's one called a siphon filter. A siphon filter, I think. Anyway, the siphon is a long ass straw. The regular one is just basically, it just kind of drops in, but it doesn't pull all the way from the bottom. So what ends up happening is you can't actually get the cryo out, or you end up only using a quarter of the tank, and then you can't use it anymore because of the cryo. So you see he's opening it up. He's getting ready. People are raging. This is the time to do it. I'm going to back up so I can see it a little better. And there we go. Easy. They love it. Everybody has a great time using it. We bring 2 canisters because you do have different options and sizes, but you want to make it to where at least, you know, you can carry the canisters, because the difference between that size, which is like, I think that's the second to the smallest. The difference between that size and like the larger one is like this tall, you know, and you gotta carry it, you gotta transport it. It's crap. So we have 2 canisters, and we basically, once we tap out of one, we swap to the next one. Here's the thing. They don't last long, and you have to make that clear to your clients, that this is a, and I always tell them, you know, we hold this till midway through the party, or at kind of at the, maybe at 2/3 in the party, to kind of give it a whole new vibe for it. And, because you can't use it. So we have 2 canisters. One we use, and we use sparingly, shooting it off, you know, whenever we want. We're smarter at this. But the moment you give it to the client, you know, whether it be the bride or the guest of honor, whatever, they don't have that discipline. They're just going to hold that thing down, and within 30 seconds, that canister is gone, you know. But that's why we have 2. One for us to kind of pinpoint and know exactly what we want to do. But then the second one is like, go crazy, burn through that canister, and everybody's happy. They're happy because they got to shoot it off. We're happy because we got to use it more than a minute, you know. And then you factor that in with the Colt sparklers. I tried to get this shot in, but it didn't work. I was a little annoyed by this, because, let me see if I can find it, because the screen was back there, and basically what ended up happening is the reflection of the sparklers and the white screen just made the whole thing just look like it was white. All right, let's see if we can do this real quick. This is still pulling off the SD card, so it's a little hard to find what I'm trying to find, but it's with the kid. He's got to be here somewhere. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm all the way at the beginning. It's here somewhere. I'll find it while I'm talking to you. Okay. It's got to be close. Yeah, this party had everything. This venue that we're at is in Agora, and they have a thing called the balloon drop, and just a shit ton of balloons comes out. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. All right, I'm in my own little world here. I should probably look and see what you guys are talking about too. Uh all right, let me drop down to the bottom and then start over. We all need to party with CT. Well, thank you. Hey, here's the thing. Most of my parties are like this. I'm not going to lie to you and be like, well, but there are parties where there's, I don't know, 70 people in a rec center with a couple of balloons, some balloon arches. We do them all. We do them all. I specifically do more of those because of the fact that I take on newer MCs. So the newer MCs are always getting the smaller parties. So it's unfortunate because I miss out on a lot of the large parties because of the fact that I'm always like constantly training new people. We all have our parts to play, but I get these too. And they're always fun when I do. But a lot of these times, these huge ones can be real bougie and not really do anything. They're just kind of boring, So I am fully aware. Here we go. I am fully aware that can be the case. Okay. Zoom in here real quick. All right. So he's shooting it off, and then I like the sparklers up right now, but because of the fog and the screen being white, it just looks like the whole place is exploding. So, it's just, the picture I had in mind, it didn't turn out the way I wanted to, but that's okay. I got enough footage that I can throw that up there. Okay. Marlon Dule in the building. All right, let's see. Now we're going to go from the bottom up and let's do this. So, Mark Anthony asks, how should I set the general mixer output with 2 tops and 2 basses, stereo or mono? This is a good question. And this is a question. This is a personal question. And I say that because there's no right way to do it. You can choose stereo or you can choose mono. Now, I choose to go mono out of my systems because I don't think there's really a need for stereophonic sound on a party. Why would you want to make it to where one side of your room is getting not the same music as another side of your room? And when you're dealing with stereophonics and stereo sound, sometimes that happens, especially when you start playing some of these older tracks, So I prefer to play in mono. Just sum it all up, have it coming out. And I still run it left and right. I still do that. I don't run it into one and then daisy chain it all the way to the other speaker. But it's all mono. Nothing wrong with stereo. Nothing wrong at all. But I choose to do mono. And anytime I go to a club, everybody always says the best clubs run stereo. No, they don't. Most clubs run mono. Why would you run stereo in a club where there's speakers around the entire room? That would be dumb. Most clubs are running in mono. Even if they tell you, some people are like, stereo. No, they're not. Okay. Let's see here. Don Rafa says, why does your chair keep falling down? That wasn't Don Rafa's question, but it's definitely mine. Okay. Okay. Do you have any information regarding shipping from Pioneer? No, I'm still waiting for my Flex 10. I'm still waiting for my Rev 5. Okay. So, no, I don't have any information. It it is what it is right now. Shipping sucks, you know, all across the board. DJ Island Boy, Wayne, good morning. Are we ever going back to Twitch? I don't know. It's not even something that I think about, in all honesty. I have nothing against Twitch, but what you're asking me for is that second day. I don't have time for the second day right now. So unless I have more time on my hands, probably, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll go on Twitch every so often, pop-ups to DJ, especially if I have new gear and I'm trying to review something. I'll still go on Twitch, but like, I just, I don't have the time, and it's too hard to do dual stream with YouTube and Twitch because Twitch is just a different breed. The entire conversation is different. Like on Twitch, you can be on your show having a full-on conversation, and the entire community is having a completely different conversation than you. If I get that with YouTube, it throws everything off. That's why it stopped. That's why I had to split it. It was too hard. It was too hard. Matt Ames in the building. What's going on? Mark Anthony with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I hope I can provide value to those dollars. T Diesel in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. That's my mod. Make sure you follow on T Diesel. T Diesel's also on Twitch and IG. Make sure you follow my guy. Follow my guy. Okay. Let's see here. Your events are at another level. If I grow up, I want to be like you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, but I'm missing out on some. We have one that's coming up in 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks or is it this week? I'm not on it. My partner's on it. It is this week. We were talking through their questionnaire. And their questionnaire said 250 plus. That's what their questionnaire said. Okay. Now, we don't charge by the body. You know what I mean? So it's not like, you know, every so often somebody's throwing a party, they're like, oh, we have 200 people. And then they might have like 250 because they didn't want to pay for 50 other heads. So they lower the number because it's buffet anyway. And they're not going to go through that buffet. Fine. I'm on the phone with them and I'm saying, this was yesterday. And I said, just verifying. We're still at about 250 plus. And she goes, yeah, no. I'm like, well, I'm sorry. What's your number at? She goes, a little over 500 plus. Okay. I know the room they're in. That room, I'm like, you're not going to have seats, are you? She goes, nope. It's standing room only. Party's going to rage. So as we're continuing to talk, that 500 plus is like, yeah, we have like 600 something. Oh, 650. And I'm like, Jesus. And I'm just sitting there like, okay. And they're like, we need to make sure the schedule's good. I'm like, why? Like, what do you mean? There's nothing that you can do to break this party. When you have 600 people in a room that technically usually only fits 250 to 300, the dance floor is never going to be empty. So it doesn't matter what you're doing off to the side. I don't care if food is 3 hours late. It's not going to affect your party. You have too many people. This is what we call in the industry, too big to fail. They exist out there. You know, 100-person party, 175, 180-person party, those can still fail. You know, you lose 10, 20% of your staff, of your guests. And, you know, your dance floor starts to look a lot emptier. You got 200 people, 20%, 30% leave. That's 40 to 60 bodies that have left the room. Okay. You have 600 people. Even if you lose 120 people, you still got 480 people in that room. Too big to fail. Nobody can break that party. I did a party. It was about 700 people. It was a bar mitzvah. The dance floor was like a 48 by 48. And the food service, we did the opening dance set. We danced them a little longer. Then they were like, okay, food's coming out. Let's say the party was at, I don't know, 8 o'clock was when the party started. So, we're dancing them. It's like 8:45. They're like, "Yeah, food will be out at 9." Okay, cool. We send the people for food. 10 minutes, no food. 20 minutes, no food. 30 minutes, no food. And I'm sitting there like, well, I'm not just going to sit here. I don't care if they're supposed to be seated, they're not eating. So now everybody looks bad. The kitchen looks bad. We look bad because we're not doing anything. So I just started slowly playing, some cool ass music. And then 10 people got up, 20 people got up, 75 people got up. Within like 20 minutes, all of a sudden, the entire dance floor is packed. And when I say we never stopped dancing until the end of the night, I mean that. Food came out, people ate who wanted to eat. Even if they did want to eat, I wouldn't know. They would go eat their food, and other people who had just eaten would come to the dance floor. Too big to fail. Too big to fail. Okay. All right, DJ, thank you for the super chat. If I didn't say that already, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Mixmaster G in the building. Good to see you. Mixmaster G has some updates to his suite of apps. You might want to take a look because he's doing some really good things. If you're into, I don't know, using more than just Serato or using more than just Rekordbox, check out his apps. If children start dancing at cocktail dinner, freaking put on some kid-friendly jams. Yeah. Now, here's the thing, though. I don't. My phone is ringing off the hook. I play good music for cocktail, and sometimes I'm DJing for cocktail if they're all in the same room or whatnot. But when I don't, sorry, I'm reading John Smith's message. Our contracts are very simple. 1 hour of cocktail, 4 hours of entertainment on a standard bar mitzvah. Weddings, it's 5 hours of entertainment, maybe ceremony sound, whatnot. But when I'm playing for cocktail, I'm never playing to get people dancing. Now, if their party's shortened, like say it's just a 4 hour max and that includes cocktail, yeah, then I know that, but you don't get free from me. 1 hour, I'm playing just cool stuff. You can dance, I don't care, but I'm not playing anything hot. I'm not playing anything good or, recent, because the party starts an hour after cocktail starts, and then we're going in. But before that, because I've had people like, oh, hey, get the kids dancing. Nope. What do you mean? Your party contractually starts an hour from now. Not now. You didn't pay for that. If I start, and this is my line for everybody, and it always works. If I start the party now, we end 4 hours from now. So let's say your contract was 6 o'clock to 11. 6 to 7 was cocktail. 7 to 11 was your party. If at 6:15 you're like, people are ready to dance, let's just get it going. That's fine. I can definitely start right now. But your party starts at 6:15, which means that we end at 10:15. Oh, okay. You know what? Never mind. I thought you'd say that. Okay. Let's see here. So the person's question, the good news is, as far as the sound system is concerned, we are actually not providing the sound system on this event. There's an AV company that does 3 venues they're like contracted to do for them. So they'll take care of it. And their stuff is good. I'm not worried about the speakers. They're going to have enough. The last time I was there, we had 300 people and they still had 4 sets of column arrays, not, a Bose or I'm talking real arrays, all around the room. So it was actually too much sound in there. We actually had to turn it down. Okay. Let's see here. Midnight lunch. That's the dream when the venue has the AV and the speakers. Make sure to always thank them. I'm not thanking them. DJ Dell. Okay. First off, I agree. having speakers when you don't have to bring yours is great. But also, not having speakers typically means you're not making as much money because you're not bringing parts of your system, which are normally in your contract. I will bring a sound system. I will bring lighting. And if they're like, nope, we got it all. Some people don't do it, but I do it. I do it. And you gotta credit that off of their account before they pay their final balance. That's just the right thing to do, you know? Because I know DJs out there. I know DJs out there do this thing, and it's always bothered me, and it still bothers me to this day. They will book a client, and the client will say, "Oh, hey, we're at this venue. Yeah, they already have their own sound and lighting. So I guess we don't need yours." "Oh, ma'am, sorry, ma'am. We still bring ours, ma'am." "Well, what do you mean? You're not going to use it?" "But just in case there's a problem, we will be ready." That's what you're paying for. Peace of mind. That's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. That's greed. If you don't want to do the party, just tell them you're not available. But don't just charge them just because. Now, having said that, PV, I don't have Casa Azul money, so sorry. That's where I am. That's where broke people drink. Casamigos and Don Julio. A $45 bottle of tequila is right in my alleyway. Sorry, my palate will have to suffer because my wallet is not helping. There's only one venue that we do that for. They had a sound system. We went in there. Their sound system gave us problems. The day of the event, giving us problems, it was about 2 blocks from my actual warehouse. So when it started giving me problems, we did the opening dance set. Right after the opening dance set was dinner. And dinner was going to be, 45 minutes. So I got into my truck, drove to my warehouse, grabbed speakers, brought them in, set them up during the party, and rocked that. Now, at that venue, we never use their system. But that is an understanding. And when people ask, why am I paying for a system when they already have it? Because their system sucks. So we can use their sucky system, but you're going to have problems and you're going to be frustrated all night. So this is why we bring our system for this party, for this particular venue. But any venue that's worth its gold, come on, guys. We all DJ in a specific area. We know exactly where whatever venue is, whatever venue is providing the quality of their stuff. We know this. And if there's a venue that you don't know, what do? You call the AV people at the venue. "Hey, what are you guys rocking with?" "Oh, hey man, how's it going?" "Yeah, we got some, 828, 828 subs, and we got this, we got that." We're like, "Oh, okay, you got real shit. Okay, cool. I trust you." But if they're like, "Oh, yeah, we got some Mackie thrash in the rafters, followed by, one Mackie sub," and I'm not even dissing Mackie. Okay. I'm just saying that there are levels to sound systems, and if I know that this chair keeps falling down, if I know that I'm doing a party for 250 people, I know that whatever they're using is not going to be enough. So I'm going to bring my own stuff. But when it is enough, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Christopher Murphy says, "What mic would you recommend for a ceremony?" There's no one good mic. But obviously any type of mic I would do. If we're talking physical microphones, I would stick to, I was going to say a word and then I forgot the word I was going to say. Dynamic microphones. That was the word. Stick to dynamics. Stick to microphones that have their diaphragms right in front or to the sides, like the SM58s or I guess they're the Beta 58s, whatever I forget what they call them from the shorts. I don't know a lot of the Sennheiser microphones. I've used them, but I don't know what they're called, so I'm not going to even try to say it. But I'm thinking about like the diaphragm for like an SM58. SM58s are good. Oh. Okay. I got my magic bag of stuff. So obviously in your magic bag, your magic DJ bag, you obviously want to keep, I got too much stuff in here. You obviously want to keep the essentials, the things that you absolutely need. Okay. Now, this is an SM58. They make these in both, obviously wired like so and wireless. But they're not, they still the SM58s? Yeah, they are. So the diaphragm capsule the diaphragm, and this is why I'm saying dynamic. I would never do a super cardioid outside or at a ceremony because it's picking up way too much stuff. So this right here is your capsule. Okay. So, not cardioid. I'm sorry. I'm saying the wrong things. The microphone, this is where they're talking. Okay. Which means that if I'm talking like this or like this or like this, your chances are you're still going to get sound coming through here. So the SM58 is a great microphone for people that have bad mic skills, because they can just do this and the mic will still work. Now, it's not going to pick up sound from behind, which is what's important, but it's going to pick up anything that's like basically here. So if you're holding it like this, think about it like this. But if you go with like a 87, okay, the 87 is shaped more like this guy, right? And I don't think I can take this off. And this one, the capsule is only on the top. Okay, so it's great for removing outside noise from in front of you and stuff, but you have to have a good mic skills in order to make sure that you're talking directly into the diaphragm so you're getting good sound. This is better for overall, which is why this has been used for decades. It's just an overall mic, and you can beat it to shit and it still works perfectly. So I like the SM58s. I think they're easy. They make them digital, they make them analog. A lot of people go lapel. I do not go lapel. I'm not one of those people because most people that use lapels don't know how to use lapels. And then you get, huh? No. Don't cuss. They can hear you. Fuck. No, stop. So I tend to stay away from that. You'll need Phantom for the 87. No, you won't. That's not true. Not on all 87s. There's, well, I guess it depends on if you're going wired. There is a wired SM87, that does require Phantom power, but the wireless ones don't. So, and I actually have an 87, which is great. It's a great microphone. Okay. Chalice. I've got a steady Thursday gig and I'm thinking of live streaming it on a budget. I was going to say, I don't know. Why am I thinking it's not cardioid? Condenser. There we go. Now my brain's working. I was saying, cardioid or super cardioid. Thank you. Now my brain's working. So it's just the way the capsules are. But let's just open it up real quick. Cardioid pattern. You are not connected to the internet. I'm like, clearly I am. Come on. Okay. This is a perfect picture. Okay. All right. Polar patterns. So here are your patterns right here. And you have your omnidirectional, which basically pulls from everywhere. Your bidirectional. You have your cardioid and your supercardioid. So the cardioid, this is right here. This is the only place that it's going to receive basic sound. This is like the optimum space. So that means if anything that's over here or over here, you're not going to get full sound. You have to be very particular. This one has a little more give, but I don't like either one of those. That's why I tend to stick to like the omnidirectionals. Hypercardioid. Still the same stuff. Yeah. This is the easiest for most people. Okay. I had a that's because they have batteries. That's it. That's all it takes. Batteries and everything works. You need power? Just put some batteries in it. Okay. I've got a steady Thursday gig. I'm thinking of live streaming on a budget. What are your views on the Fifine SC3? I don't know. Guys, I'm not Amazon. I don't have every single. Do you know how many streaming devices that they make now since after the pandemic? There's hundreds of different options for streaming. But Fifine, I've actually done reviews on one of these guys. It was fine. I don't obviously use it anymore. Let's see. Fifine SC3. SC3. Which one is it? SC3. So I'm not seeing it. I assume it's an audio board. But I will tell you this. Fifine, however you pronounce their name, is adequate at best. But I can pretty much guarantee you the sound coming out of there, you'd be better off literally going streaming from your Serato box or whatever. It's not going to really do much for you. It's fine, but go get yourself a Mackie, if that's $42, or go and get yourself the Mackie mixer, with the USB. What is that? It's the 4-channel. I think they even have a 2-channel. Mackie mixer 2. Let's just do Mackie mixer. This guy right here. This is the 6-channel, but they do make a smaller 4-channel that I can't seem to find right now. But it's class compliant. You can plug it in. They do have a smaller one though, but find the FX4. Is it FX4? It is class compliant, so it'll still do all the things you need it to do. FX4 maybe? There we go. No, that's the same one. Dude, come on, Amazon. Stop messing around with me. This is a good one too. The MG. This one does really well. And it's also class compliant. I like this one. A lot of options. Okay. Pablo says the Mackie Thumb Go 8 is clutch. Been rocking it even as a monitor. I agree. See, I got to do the review of the Thrash. The only reason why I haven't done the Thrash, we're digging what's in your cart. Yeah, my cart so my cart has anything and everything. I got tap shoes. I got power adapters. I got gaff tape. I got pink belts, white pants, a brush, because for whatever reason, my wife can't put anything in the wish list. It's got to go in the cart. And then when I finally have to do like an immediate order of like 5 things, I have to remove everything from the cart just to get what I need done. Married life. Okay. 11:17. We got plenty of time, but let's see what we're doing here. Bunch of hardware and female products. Exactly. Okay, let's see. Let's go back up and see if I missed something here. I always spin Cocktail. Do you still find it beneficial to use that time to probe the crowd with songs you wouldn't typically play? And has it ever changed the direction you thought you might go? No. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, I did a party just recently, 2 weeks ago, and the client was like, "We want this kind of music, and it's full on, EDM and groove house, not groove house, and all that stuff." And for Cocktail, I don't know. We just want you to blah blah blah. So I started playing some of my deeper cuts of like groove house and all that stuff. And I'm looking around, and people are moving and dancing. The client comes up. She's like, "This is exactly what I wanted," even though she didn't articulate what she wanted. But that's my job as a DJ. So probing, yes, to a certain extent, but like, I don't know. I've been DJing long enough to where I know that even if I can figure out what a party is within 10 minutes of the room opening. I know exactly what the crowd is, so I don't really think about it too often. Usually when I'm DJing, if I'm DJing a Cocktail, I'm really kind of playing more for me. It's always upbeat and fun and energetic, but I'm playing for me. I'm like, I can play stuff that nobody's even heard of, and nobody's going to give me any lip because it's cocktail hour. So I do a combination of both. It just depends. If I mean, a lot of times if the party's outdoors or, you're all in the same room, the music has to be slightly different, because if it's not different, when you go into the party and you just have a slightly newer version of whatever you were just playing, nobody gets that, "Oh, we're switching. It's time to party now." So you have to change the rules up. So that's why I tend to stay away from the stuff that I normally, because I want, when I drop that song, for people to go, something's happening. That's the difference for me. LL Quill J asks, what's a venue to check out in LA to experience the best sound? In what capacity, LL? Like in doing a party and going to a party, going to a club, going to see stuff? Like, in what capacity are you referring to? Wireless mics. Do you use rechargeable batteries or store-bought batteries? In all honesty, I use Amazon batteries. I buy, every month or two, I buy a box of 128 AA's, and I use those. And I put every microphone case that we have has 2 sets of batteries. One to replace the old batteries that are in there, and then the second one for the just in case. Sometimes if I didn't use my mic that much, I can still use the other batteries from the previous party, but I don't trust that, but I also don't trust, I don't have a problem with rechargeable batteries. I don't love the fact that rechargeable batteries, see, I'm falling again. Hold on. Just going to lower my desk. I don't like the fact that rechargeable batteries, their shelf life tends to be real short. So they'll work, they'll charge, but then the actual maximum capacity never seems to be the same after a couple of updates. I have a box of 25 rechargeable batteries because I thought I was going to go that route, but they don't last as long. And that's one more thing you got to worry about charging. Now, I do like the rechargeable batteries that comes in the cheaper Shores. It's one of their mics that I don't even use anymore because it was trash. Oh, sorry. The mic wasn't trash. It just had no distance. I think it was a was it it was the first version of their PG 24. And yeah, their PGXD was their first version because it wasn't a GLX. It wasn't a GLX. Maybe it was. Anyway, I'm going to show you what it looked kind of like. It looked like a mix between the PGX D24s, which are these guys right here. It looked like a mix between this guy and this guy. What I like about this guy is this thing right here. This is the battery bay. So, you know, they give you one by default, but then you can buy others. Yeah, this is pretty much it. You can buy others. And then you always know that you're charged. So I did love that. I'm still going lower. Hold on. I'm over this chair. I am over this chair. So I love that battery system. You know, you can see the battery marks on there, the meters. You've got one that's just sitting there waiting to be swapped out. I wish that they would have these for most of their mics, but they don't. Most mics, you need actual AA's. It's real stupid. Real stupid. Okay. Yeah, we bought one of them. We never bought another one. DJ Colcut. Not BLX, Vince Boyd. I will not buy a BLX. Okay. This happens every time. This is a conversation that happens. You know, I will say something like, hey, this Thrash 212 is pretty good. You know, it's got these features. It's got these features. And then I will inevitably get, I just, you know what, it seems okay, but I just love my Everse. Did I ask you about your Everse? Did I say to you, what's a good speaker to use for cocktail and ceremony? No, I didn't say that. Did I ask you, what do you think is the best? I didn't say that either. I said, this speaker is pretty good. I don't care about your Everse. Somebody said something about, I think I was talking about a controller. It was like some controller. And I was bringing it up, and one of the comments was like, I just prefer to use my turntables. I would never go that route. I don't care. I don't care what you do. People always feel the need to have to say. Justin and DJ in the building. What's going on, fam? No, but Vince Boyd, to answer your question, yeah, I don't buy BLX. BLX is hot garbage. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care when anybody tells me that, oh man, you just don't know how to use it properly. You just don't know how. No, it's trash. It's trash. I don't go. The BLX is trash. The SLX is the most consistent microphone, and the PGX is the workhorse. It's the workhorse. The PGX can do and go anywhere. It's that kind of microphone. You can beat the hell out of it. It will work with, you know, half a top missing on it. It's bent in all the way through, looking like a, you know, a cleft lip. It just keeps going. You know, it's got great range. It's dependable. But for the best range and for the best sound, you need to start moving up to the SLX, the QLX, the ULX. Those are the best mics. The ULX the ULX is the one above the QLX. That mic is ridiculous. Great range, never has an issue, never has any dropouts. But any of these newer digital boxes, and pretty much all of them, except for the PGX, remember when the PGX, they discontinued the PGX analog, and then they came out with the GLX D before they came out with the PGX D. So everybody thought that that was going to replace the PGX, but then that GLX was trash. So they ended up, I don't want to say they ended up, but they brought back the PGX at a certain point, and all of my systems that I'm not using have PGXs on them, and they're fine. I don't spend a crap ton of money on the best product, because when you have employees, they don't look at your products like you look at your products. And that's being nice. That's being understanding that that's the way the business works. Nobody will take care of your shit better than you will take care of your shit. So I don't spend the money on, we got stuff right now, stuff on my parties. You know, I'll get MCs or dancers that'll come and we're setting up and everything. And they walk in like, wow, you got the good stuff. I'm like, yes, I do. Because I know that it's going to go home working. I know that if something were to go wrong, I can fix it because I don't have a problem with complicated systems, but my employees absolutely do have a problem. If it's too complicated, you're asking yourself, you're setting yourself up for failure. It could be the coolest stuff on the planet. And if it's not you working it and you send it out with your guys, it's probably going to fail, or it's going to have more problems and it becomes more trouble than it's worth. So all of my systems that go out with the crews, they're not mine, my guys, they're all dumbed down. Trusses where you just plug in the light, and all 6 of them will do some cool stuff. Sound systems, just plug it in. XLR, don't worry about this. Don't worry about crossovers. Just plug it in. All right, lights. You know what? Take a gig bar. What do I do? Plug it in. I can't send these guys with movers. If I do, I have to send a dedicated lighting guy because they can't work it. Hold on.
This is a journey into sound. This is a journey. This is a journey into sound. Sound.
It's funny how there's so much movement on those scratches. I don't even, the more I practice, the more I've realized that, yeah, there's so much movement, and that's an old scratch. So, WMX, you guys know this one, WMX. You guys also know that I also have the Soundstream, and I have the ADJ Light Rider, whatever, my DMX Go. I can't give them this guy, the My DMX Go, or the Soundstream. Why? Because they won't get it. They won't get it. I have to send them with gig bars. We're going to get some command ILSs, multiples. Why? Because it's, hey, look at the pretty button, press the pretty button. You want to change the color? Press the other pretty button. Only way it works. Only way it works. It's dumb, but that's the price you pay of owning a business. Nobody cares. Okay. Why does everybody keep talking about Phoenix Pro mics all of a sudden? Nobody cares like you care. So if they can't get it to work, they will come back to me like after the party. Hey, so the lighting, I couldn't get the one thing to work, so I didn't use any lighting. There was enough lighting in the room anyway. What? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you call me? Oh, well, I was going to, but then I got busy, and then we had to start the party, and then, okay, fine. Here you go. Next party. Dumb trusses. That's the only way. The only way. Oh, I think this is the first time I'm actually going to use this guy. I think this weekend. I do have, because I have some movers that I have to set up. But I can only bring the movers. I also have to bring my gig bar. Why do you ask? Because sometimes the party planners take up all your space. And then I have no place for my trusses. I know they want the lighting, but every so often that happens. So gig bars are easier to put anywhere. Okay. Phoenix Pro mics. Phoenix Pro mics are solid microphones. Absolutely solid. I will say this, over time, they definitely haven't been as durable as any of my other microphones. Because I had at least one box of, obviously the single, the single rack unit. Comes with 4 microphones. So over time, just from moving around and doing all this stuff, I've had microphones go a little bit. The 2 microphone one, which is the PTU71, I've kept them in case and fine. They've been fine. They're a little hot on the gain. You really have to know your gain structure in order to use them properly, because they really are hot. They're very, very, very sensitive. But they still work. Haven't had a problem with those. There's a diversity microphone that they wanted me to try, and we just keep playing phone tag. And the last time I'm like, hey, send me the diversity microphones. I'd like to. We're not reviewing those right now. You're not reviewing those right now? No, we're focusing on this microphone right here. This trash microphone over here. We want you to review the trash microphone. Well, that's great. Thank you so much. But I don't want to review the trash microphone because I'm not going to use the trash microphone. And I'm going to call it a trash microphone. Why don't you give me the diversity microphone that I'm going to say is great, and then you're going to sell more microphones at higher price points? Why are you so stupid? Theme of the day. Stupid people day. People do not understand logic. They do not understand rationale. It's the same reason why some people get gear that should not have gear, and they're rocking with it on IG, and companies feel like, oh, well, we need to get it in their hands. Look how many followers they have. Look how many people are going to want this after they see it. No, they're not. They don't care, because the fans that they have are not DJs. Understand your base. Anyway, DJ Kenny says, G Kenny, video pause on my end. It's the GLX battery charging in the actual unit. I'm late. Oh, no worries. Common sense has left the chat. Yes, it has. Oh, gotcha, Vince. Gotcha. Yeah. Too many people have told me / justified their purchases. Because look, DJs, the world we live in, every response that you get from somebody, for the most part, yeah, there are people that are genuinely like, oh my God, that's a really cool product. But every response that people send out are justifications of their purchases. That's all. Most things are justifications of their purchase. Hey, there's this new thing. Well, that's great, but this is better. Is it better? Are you sure it's better? Or is it just because you own it and now you don't want to think about having to buy a new product? See, some people can actually look at something and go, that's a really cool product. I want that. I can't afford it right now, but in 6 months, maybe a year, I'm going to buy that thing. That's what most rational people do. They don't say, oh, well, I can't afford that right now. Mine is better. Mine is still better. No, it's not. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. But everybody justifies. I don't care what you buy. I don't care what you use. I don't care. I care about helping. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be I'm not being that dismissive. I care about helping people. But what it is you use, or if you're trying to convince me that your equipment or your something is better, I don't care. You don't have to convince me. You have to convince yourself. All I'm doing is talking about the good and the bad of a product, or the good and the bad of an experience I had, or just the bad of an experience I had. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm doing. You form your own judgments. Yeah, Don Rafa. You use CDs? I don't care. I don't. Look, it's like when I use a Rev 7, for things, or use my turntables, and people are like, why do you use a Rev 7? There's other controllers out there that are better. Not for me. But I don't understand. You're not supposed to understand. It's for me. And you buy what you want to buy. And then we all live happily ever after. Yeah, John Smith. I love this term. I think this term kind of became socially aware during the pandemic, when it was BLM and, Me Too movements and all this stuff. Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is my favorite 2 words. Confirmation bias. Anytime somebody comes to a video or an IG and they start talking about some other product or why their product is better, confirmation bias. They need to feel like they made the right choice. It's the same people that will turn around and DM me and ask me, but really, what's the best one? This one or this one? I can't answer that. What do you mean you can't answer that? I cannot answer what the best one is, because my best one may not be your best one. I can tell you why I like said products. I can tell you the weaknesses, the flaws, and the good points. But I can't tell you what is better. Because right now, to this day, there are people that absolutely can't stand the Rev 7. There are people that can't stand the DDJ 1000. The DDJ 1000 was a workhorse. I loved it, up until other stuff came out. When the Rev 7 came out, I was done, but I have people that are like, oh, I don't like the jogs. Oh, okay. Oh, people use Rev 7. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like that about it. Oh, okay. As Marlon would say, I don't care. It's funny to me how much people try to convince me. It is a thing. It's like a full-time job for some people out there trying to convince me. And I'm like, hey man, like somebody will say something. Well, bro, this and this and this. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man. This is why I like mine. Whatever. This is why I like it more than what you're talking about. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then they'll have another thing. And I'm like, you're trying to convince me. You don't have to convince me. You don't have to convince me. I'm not going to be convinced because I've used every product that you guys are trying to convince me to use. I know what's out there. TT loves RCF. Yeah. Again. Bro, RCF's so much better than everything else. Oh, it's so much better. So much better? Really? So much better? You sure about that? I don't feel that. I feel that anything that's around that price point, they're all good. No, bro. So much better. So much better. Okay. I don't agree. What do you mean you don't agree? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say, I don't care. You buy what you want. That's what I meant to say. Translation. It got lost in translation. I don't think that I've convinced, I don't think I've ever tried to convince people in any review that I've ever done to buy something. I don't think I've ever said to anybody out there, sell everything you have and buy this. I don't think that's come out of my mouth ever. So the people that argue with me, I'm confused. I don't know why. You know, when people ask me, well, what's at the time, what's the best controller this year? And I'm like, the Rev 7. Oh, what about the, I don't do whataboutisms. You asked me a question, I answered it. And if you ask, 3 or more of my well-respected peers, DJ TLM, Mojax, all these people were saying the same thing. We didn't get together and have a meeting and say, okay, guys, what are we saying this year? It was unison. It was unison. So it's possible that maybe we're right, but right or wrong does not change your feeling on a product. See, look, Sam's asking, how's the Rev 5? You liking it? I have a review. Versus the 1000. See? This is a huge one. The Rev 5 versus the 1000. Huge one. And Sam, I'm just being honest today. Okay? Don't take anything personal. You've reached a personal moment in my life. So just roll with it. For me personally, I don't need to know which one is better between the Rev 5 and the 1000 because it does not take much to just look and say, well, there's 2 huge factors in either one of them. One has paddles, one has the 900 style mixer effects. That alone should be able to answer any question you have about the device. Any question. Any question. If you like paddles, there's your answer. If you like the 900 style, there's your answer because neither one of them does both. So that's your answer. That's for you to decide. I'm a paddle guy. So when I pull out the Rev 5, they're both made really well. They're both made really well. The 1000, I wouldn't personally tell anybody to buy a 1000 now. Okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with the 1000 and you can probably get them a little cheaper, which is great. But the Flex 10 is a better controller than the 1000. I mean, it is an updated version of the 1000 with stem support. Why wouldn't you, if you like the 1000, why wouldn't you get the Flex 10? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just weird to me. If you like the 1000, you're ready to get a 1000, put a little more money aside and get the Flex 10. You're going to get better stem support. You're going to get better effects. You're going to get a better audio output coming out of the board with the Flex 10. It's just better. So the Rev 5 feels, it's very sturdy. It's very, look, I don't know how Pioneer DJ does it, but they have a way of making their cheapest stuff feel quality. I don't know how they do it. Like that Flex 4, which I actually do prefer. This is actually a funny thing. I have a Flex 4 and a Rev 1 here. And I prefer the Flex 4 over the Rev 1. I shouldn't because I love paddles, but something about the shape of the Rev 1, I don't love it. I don't love it. There's nothing wrong with it. I just prefer the Flex 4 over it. Very, very weird. It's very weird. Rev 5 is like the CDJ equivalent of a S7 and a 3000 setup. Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah, maybe closer to like S5 and S7 put together, since there was no internal effects. But that honestly did not stop me from DJing on the Rev 5. I actually really love what they did with the Rev 5. It's just a good device. Now, I want to take it on the road, and maybe my opinion will change, but I don't think it will. The Rev 5 is a very good system. Okay. Sam walked into a loaded conversation. Oh, so yes, somebody did ask me about title. All right. This is another one. I'm literally doing crunches every time I have to get back into my chair. Okay. Actually, I'm going to formulate. Hold on one second. Speaking of S7. Okay, so title. We can talk about title for a minute. I don't really think it involves all that much conversation because, you know, title is a business. Title is not necessary. Oh, damn chair just went up. Title has not necessarily always been for and about DJs. If you want for and about DJs, you got to go to, you know, BeatSource and things like that. Hold on. I can't tell if my chair's going up or if something else is going up. Let me get a vocal in here. Oh my God, this chair is literally dropped. I've never seen this chair do this today. Every so often I get this problem, but hold on. I don't know what version I'm on as I drop down. All right. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what version of Serato I'm on. 3.010. Do I have an update here? Should I do it? The funny thing about it is, so annoying. The funny thing about it is, it's interesting to me that Serato, of all people, did not even put in the notes that, oh, by the way, if you update to this, you're going to lose your ability to stream to do stems on title. I don't understand why Serato wouldn't put that in there. That's a little weird to me. And it's a little backhanded, in my opinion. Staples got the check. So I don't think I'm going to update right now. I don't think I'm going to do it. Because I think that with title, all right, I'm already on title. All right, see, I'm still good. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to update today. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe they probably did. Um, it's nope. Title works. So this happened with Spotify, guys. Remember Algorithm DJ when they updated. All of a sudden, Spotify didn't work anymore because Spotify no longer wanted to be in the business of it. So I'm sure the same thing happened here. So when you update, and I will update at some point, obviously, but when I do finally update, I'm just gonna lose the ability to stem title. Now, it stood out to me in the release notes of Rekordbox. Oh, there you go. Title might go offline locker. It's already in the VDJ beta. Well, okay. Now, I will say this. If title goes offline locker, it's going to be a much harder question. When people are like, well, which one should I get? BeatSource or should I get title? Well, obviously right now, BeatSource is going to win because they have obviously stems where you can use stems anyway. You can't with title. But if title goes offline locker, I don't know. It's just falling. I like BeatSource a lot. BeatSource does a lot of things for a lot of people. The one thing that it doesn't do as well is make sure it's got the latest, greatest music. And I'm not talking about like, standard popular stuff, but I'm like, it could be like maybe an alternative hip hop or, some of these SoundCloud rappers. It's just more likely that Tidal is going to have them before BeatSource does. There's only been one time so far I was playing, one of these SoundCloud mumble rappers, and I needed a clean version because I was playing at a bar mitzvah. So I pulled title first because I'm like, this is new. There's no way BeatSource is going to have this one. And I pulled title and they didn't have a clean version. And then I went to DJ City. They didn't have the song. But then I went to BeatSource and there was a clean version and a dirty version in their music. I thought that was very weird. So I, no rhyme or reason. When I asked them about it, they didn't know. Nobody ever knows when you ask them about it. Really? Huh? Because in my opinion, when I tell you I'm going to pull this stream and I'm just going to cut every time I have to like raise my seat up again, every time, that's just going to be the stream. I would not be surprised if BeatSource accidentally doesn't put stuff on their DJ City that happens to be on BeatSource to entice people to move over to BeatSource. Accidentally. That seems like business 101 to me. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. Probably. I know it's done. This chair is done. I'm gonna have to buy another one. Or I drop everything down and then I gotta get more greenery to bring lower. I mean, as you can see right now, it's already not low enough, but I was too lazy to run it all the way down and then cut out the outlets and all that stuff. I'll probably do it anyway. But it is what it is. Okay. What do we got here? 11:56. Let's answer a few more questions. So back to title. So, I do think that title is the better catch-all for all things requested over BeatSource. But, BeatSource has better crates. They really do have better crates. Anybody, in my opinion, that is truly angry over the fact that you can't stem title music tells me that they're using stems too much. I use stems all the time. It's a great thing to use. However, I'm not using it on every single song. It's not necessary on every single song to stem out the tracks all the time. You know? So I don't understand why anybody is even using Tidal as a all-encompassing, because I don't really think that's happening. I mean, I know it's our jobs to make things seem bigger than they are, but you know, I was on Digital DJ Tips, their IG, and I was just reading the comments through, and you know, people are all over the place. Oh my God, I can't believe Tidal. Like, guys, don't expect Tidal. No, there's no company out there besides BeatSource that actually cares about DJs. There's nobody out there. Nobody cares. When is Apple Music going to come over? They don't care. We are a very small percentage of their normal, you know, customer base. We're not bringing anything new to the table. Just allowing them to allow us to stream. It's dumb. It's dumb. You know, and there's a lot of people out there like, well, there's two camps. There's the this sucks camp. I can't believe this. I guess I'm going to BeatSource. And then there's why are you even playing streaming music? Buy your music. Buy your music. Buy your music. I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle. I am in the middle. I own 95% of my music. I stream the other 5%. Some days it might be 10%. And I'm sure that artists are the reason behind it. The ELO show, all this stuff is creating problems. Everything that's going on right now, everything that's going on, whether it be stems, whether it be writers, whether it be actors and directors and strikes and all these things, it's all based around the same thing. Basically, AI making people's jobs easier than they need to be. I want to do a remix. Before it was harder to stem your stuff quality wise and be able to make a bootleg white label track. You couldn't do that before. You had to have super software you spent maybe $130 on or whatever, and you know, or you did it yourself, but it never sounded that great. Now they have more and more, but they don't want it to be anything at the touch of a button. I just press this button and now I have instant vocals. I'm an artist, and now you're literally making 97,000 versions of my track that just came out because you're a DJ and you need to get your clicks. So you made a remix of my song that I just released 3 days ago, already got a remix for it that people are playing, and they're not playing my stuff. As an artist, I'd be pissed off too. I get it. And the more things get easier for us, the more the music industry sits and says, wait a minute, hold on. Wait, there's some red flags here. And I doubt that anybody was thinking about stems. I doubt it. I doubt it was even a question until people started posting, you know, on their IGs and on their YouTubes. Oh, check out my new mashup. Check out what I just did with this one. This song goes together with this one. Hold on. I'm going to mute out the beat. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And they're like, wow, that was really easy. We might want to have our lawyers take a look at this. And furthermore, legally speaking, I'm not even sure if it is legal, to be honest with you, what we are essentially doing to the music. Even on our license, our ability to stream the song, we are modifying the original track. I'm sure somewhere in the fine print, there's something in there that says you can't. There's a reason why they don't allow us to record. I'm sure there's some fine print in there that everybody's just, you know, naively ignoring. But this could get worse. This could get worse. I'm telling you. We don't have to sell it. Mac, you don't have to sell it. That is one of those crazy misnomers. and it wasn't a big deal until social media became a thing. It wasn't a big deal, but you know, there's tons of Bandcamp people that get taken down left and right. And they're just like, hey, this song is free. You can do whatever you want with it. And they're like, nope, you didn't have the right to remix this song. Take it down. Because legally speaking, any artist, any label can, if they really wanted to, can spend all their money going on every single person and like, you don't have the rights to this. You don't have the rights to this. You don't have the rights to this. We don't have to sell it. We don't have the rights to it. It is not our music. There are artists right now who don't have the rights to their own music that can't play music on their stuff, or they'll get copyright strike. I'm just saying, this is just facts, guys. Look, you know, it's intimidating to my new DJ pockets to purchase even half of my title collection. I get it. But I mean, think about it this way. DJing is going to get boring. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. But you know, we spent the last, I mean, when did the turntable come out? 60s? I mean, like the Technics. You know, we've spent good 50 years, you know, not having stems. We'll be okay. But that's only if they force it. And again, nobody's telling you can't make your own stems. You know, they just won't make it easy for you. So we'll see what happens with BeatSource. You know, they might get it. They might get hit too. And the only stem work is going to be the stuff that, you know, you do on your own or you don't update. Like I said, there are people right now using Algorithm DJ and Spotify because they never updated the app. Old ass iPhone 3. Okay, let's see here. We are making the songs better with stems. So, you remember the song, Somebody That I Used to Know? Kind of a one-hit wonder, right? So, that song came out, and people liked it, but you know, obviously it wasn't being played in the clubs. And then, I think it might have even been the radio station opted to put a beat behind it. And then that beat behind it started picking up steam. Okay. And then there was a couple of like house remixes that were really good. I actually have one that I still even use to this day. And so his name blowing up, right? Just amazing. He's selling records, selling music, selling out shows. They get him on a show after they get him on an interview after one of his shows. Yeah, Mike D, right, Audio One. So they get him on a show and they're saying, hey, you know, are you loving all the success? And he's like, absolutely. The success is great. He goes, I just wish that they wouldn't change my music because it's not how I intended this song to be. So he didn't even like it. He never wanted that remix. So there are people out there that you know, produce the song or the movie. The way I produce it is the way it was intended to be played. Don't change my stuff. There's tons of people like that. That's like going in and like re-editing a Christopher Nolan film. He'd be like, what are you doing? Get your ass out of my studio. I already cut it. It's how I wanted it. Christopher Nolan, damn it. That's what some of these people think. You know, now you got people like Kid Cudi who makes interesting music. Like if I had heard Day and Night before the remix, I would have just passed on that song. That song was boring to me. I think it was it the Crickers remix from Day and Night? They did the remix, changed the whole song. The waves are going to hit you. Hit your boat. I want to hear what some artists think of what Kid Cut Up and DJ Bizon do to the tracks. That's a very good question. I'd like to know too. I mean, I don't know. Because I know none of them, and don't get me wrong, I mean, there's been people I know he never thanked them. I know he was all about the art audio one. Oh, well, it's great that they did that, but I was already popular beforehand. Then they started playing the original on radio and people were like, what is this trash? Come on. At night, play it. DJ Phasm says, no one is ever going to stop remixes. If they get SoundCloud to take down remixes, will just go underground. So I am not saying that anybody should stop remixes. I'm not saying that, the DJ isn't going to do what the DJ does. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying how it looks from a legal perspective, not how it looks from our perspective. Our perspective is screw people. We're just going to do what we want to do. You know? Oh, I need a song. Oh, I guess I'm pulling it off of Citify. Oh, I'm fiending for a song. I'm like a crackhead. Fine. I'm going to YouTube and extracting the song. People do it. I've done it on occasion. So I can't talk like, oh my God, I'm the perfect guy. Just buy your music. Shut up. Not everybody buys all their music. The person earlier, Balancing All Things, she's just starting out, So I get it. It's expensive. I look at the amount of music that I have in my folders and you start doing the math. You're like, if I had to buy all this music again, could I? First off, a lot of music you can't even get anymore. But secondly, it's a expensive habit. Now, it's only expensive to a point. Thank you, G. Kenny. It's only expensive to a point because everybody here has got record pools, has got maybe a streaming service, all of these things. So if you have 2 or 3 record pools, I've said this before, I'll say it again. And I'm not saying don't use record pools. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is this. Record pools for me, especially since Stems came in, especially because I'm not doing long mixes. I'm even doing more drops out there. I don't need to have 16 bar intros and outros. I can make my own. I can do the things I want. But hold on, what was I saying? But these services you're paying for $25, $30 a month, plus your streaming of $10 and $20 a month. So if you do the math, you're probably spending, maybe $60 to $100 a month just on music, which is fine. That's your job. You're writing it off. Cool. Whatever. Let's just say you have one. It's $30 a month. You download as much as you can. Okay. If you decided at some point you got into a certain level, like me, I'm at a certain level now. I got all the music I need. Now everything I'm doing is just supplemental. I technically don't need a record pool. Why? Because in general, I'm not spending $30 worth of music. I'm not downloading $30 worth of music, and I'm not getting music that quickly, for my parties. It's just unrealistic, and if I did need a song randomly, then I would have just streamed it. If it's just some random song, until people are asking for it enough, I'm like, okay, you know what? I should grab this song. I should grab it. But you don't need record pools. You really don't. If you have an established database. But if you need intros and outros, I get it. They have them. But you don't. If you didn't have a record pool and you had to buy all your music, you'd be just fine. You'd probably be spending the same amount of money. Just basic math. It's like having unlimited texting on your cell phone, and say, unlimited is, and by the way, there's no such thing as unlimited. Even unlimited has a cap. You'll just never reach that. It's like that unlimited is probably like 99,000 text messages in a month. You won't reach it. But if you do the math, sometimes you weren't going to reach it anyway. And you're just spending more money. You get better Wi-Fi at the house, and it's just you. Why you don't need it if you're not streaming up and down. Anyway, I could go on forever. Yeah. We all go through it less often. I every week or so I'll go in and I'll probably pull 3 or 4 songs. Maybe. But like this week, I'm not pulling anything. I got everything I need, and I'm not really going to be playing something different, and if it's something for me, then, there are other ways to do it. But anyway, usually if I'm doing a club, I will always check the remixes. That's really the only reason for a record pool for me. I'll check the remixes because sometimes, especially for clubs, open format, the remixes will go a long way. Got to get the latest remixes of Ski. See, that's another one. You don't need an intro beat on that damn song. Just drop it on the one. So I don't need to get an intro for that. All of Ice Spice's music, all of it starts on the one, pretty much. Every song she comes out with starts on the one. She don't have an intro. She's not even talking over anything. There's no beat. It's just bam, track, verse. So I'm just dropping them now. Sometimes I let it ride. Sometimes I drop them. That's being a DJ. Anyway, Terry, and downloading memories like Napster and LimeWire early. I still have music on there. I still have LimeWire music that I'll every so often I'll go, oh, what is this song? And I'll play it. It's like, so on the track. Everybody was DJ Q back then. Everybody, or you go to download a song, you play it. It's like, this version is blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh God, why? We don't need the streaming police, the download police. Just, if you don't like it, just leave me alone. I'm up like 650 downloads available on DMS. And I have multiple record pools. I honestly, and I'm in them probably once a month. I go in there every so often. What's new out here? I'll go take a look at like their top music, and some of them are good. A lot of them their tops are not really even indicative of what the top music is. It's the top downloaded music, and the top downloaded music isn't necessarily the music that people are actually playing at the clubs. It's just the most downloaded music. I don't care about that. I don't care about who downloaded what. I care about what's hot, what's actually being played. That's what I care about. All right. 12:15. Song is a banger, Judy Brown. This is exactly why I just canceled my Urban DJ pool to subscription. I wasn't downloading enough to justify the cost. I understand. I miss getting free promo wax. Me too. Fuck the contracts. Well, I'm just finding out about this now. Time to cancel Tidal. Look, guys, you don't have to cancel Tidal though. This is what I'm saying. Tidal is not the enemy. Tidal still has all the music you wanted. Tidal still has every song that you were requested that night. You just couldn't mute the vocal out or take the beat out. Is it the end of the world? Okay. So the Rev 5 is a perfect example. The Rev 5, a great controller from my limited use so far. The moment I said no internal effects, people were like, oh, I'm not buying that. Oh, if there's no internal effects, I'm not buying that. I'm like, there are still effects. They're just Serato effects. No, bro, I'm not buying it. And then I start to think, like, in all honesty, how many effects are people using? Realistically, how many effects are people really using? I use 3 effects. 3 effects. Those are my go-tos. Echo, reverb, and high pass filter. Or low pass filter. Whatever that, you know what I'm saying. Filter. Those 3 are my go-tos. Anything else is just a random, hey, let me put a duck down on. Okay, cool. Boom, 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 boom. That was cool. But those aren't my go-tos. So, echo, reverb, filter. Every single controller has this. They may not have reverb, but they always have echo. They usually have like maybe a ping pong tap or whatever, and they always have filter. So unless you are going through effect after effect on your events, which I doubt you really are, it's fine. Now, if you think that your value or the money you spent directly correlates to the internal effects, fine, more power to you. You know, but I don't. My whole issue with internal effects wasn't, for instance, like with the Rain 1. My issue with the Rain 1 not having internal effects was not that it didn't have internal effects. My issue was they wanted $1,500 for a controller with no internal effects. And I said it in the video, you know, this probably should have been $1,100, $1,000 with no internal effects, which is exactly where the Rev 5 sits. That's my whole thing. You know, it's just price comparison, price analysis. T Diesel says echo, reverb, backspin, low pass filter, and phaser out of every track. There you go. See? You know, it's Ashley, what you're saying is funny, but what you're also saying is you're calling me out. And I'm like, hey, I'm still on for 20 minutes. What are you complaining about? You shouldn't be complaining. Then the next time I'm going to be on until 11:40 and then I'm going to get off 20 minutes early. That's what happens. You guys are never happy. You DJs are never happy. Just angry all the time. What am I going to do with you guys? Delay on a 1/4 beat can funk up a song. You know, everybody's got their thing. I mean, honestly, I think that we're okay. And I think that there's enough controllers out there, great controllers, that we don't have this issue. We just need things to complain about. We have to complain. Even though this is the absolute best time to be a DJ on the planet, it has never been better than this moment right here. It has never been better. And we are still complaining. Think about that for a minute. Just think about that. Go back. Just go back. What are we, 23? Go back 25 years. It was night and day different. Go back 50 years. It's like the Stone Age. Now look at us. Any song ever. Any song ever. Any song. In a 14-inch box. Any song that I've ever wanted to play. Available. At my fingertips. Any song. I think I want to play Dave Matthews live album at Red Rock, December 14th, 2020. Let me go see. Let me look in here. Hey, look, there's his whole album available to me at my fingertips with no waiting. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for anything. Think about that for 1 minute. You don't have to wait at all. Even with like Mix It records and record pools, you had to wait. You had to sit and wait for your thing to be delivered. Just 20 years ago, it took 76 hours to download the one song that you absolutely wanted from Napster at 4 a.m. You turned that thing on and it took 76 hours. Because your dial-up was trash, and because whatever Napster node was being hit, there was one person, and he was only on for 3 minutes a day, every day. And you would just siphon from him for those 3 minutes every day. Now, we literally just type in a song, and it is available in like 3 seconds. We're dumb. We are stupid. See? Theme of the day. Stupid. We have everything we've ever wanted and more. I know. I mean, come on now. Whoever thought that we would have the ability to just remove all the things we don't want to hear in the song on the fly at our fingertips? Who would have thought that? We were just happy to get our music. Oh my God, we don't have to carry crates around anymore. That's all we were happy about. Now look at where we are. We're just stupid. We're not happy. We're just angry people looking for things to complain about. Does anybody remember DMX the way it used to be? Not not that DMX. DMX protocols for lighting. Does anybody remember how hard it was to program your movers with DMX 20 years ago? Does anybody actually remember? It was a nightmare to program a mover. Absolute nightmare. Now, we just tell the box what fixture we're using. And it downloads the profile. And then you just say, here's my song. And it says, hold on, let me do it for you. You don't even have to look at your lights anymore. You don't have to know where they're going. They just do their thing. Let me tell you how bad it was to program DMX on those old school fader. You know, it looked like a road box right here. It had like 8 faders, and then it looked just like this thing. You know, like the old Chevy, not Freedoms. I forget what they were called. The Chevy Obeys. The Chevy Obeys. It would have, the 8 up here. Then it would have like your sequences, and then it would have the fixed stationary thing. What do they call scene? They would have a fixed scene. So you were like, okay, here's my scene. I'm going to program it in, and remember, back then, each one of these faders represented a particular part of the light. This might have been the brightness. This might have been the strobe. This might have been the color selection. This might have been the program mode. All of these things needed to be programmed in by hand manually. All of them. And if you wanted to have your mover move, you couldn't just say, hey, do your thing. No, you had to go in there and set one scene. Okay, the mover's here. Another scene, the mover's here. And then you had to go into the sequencer and program the sequencer with that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now loop it. Now you just turn on your Chevy ILS light and it talks to every effing fixture that you have. We're in a really good place. We're just in a really good place. And it drives me nuts. It's just too hard. The WMX is hard. It's hard. No, it's not. It's easy. You download your profiles. You got your buttons. It does everything it's supposed to do. SoundSwitch is hard. It's easier than it used to be. Even if I have to go into there and change the attributes, which I don't love, obviously. But then the LED burned out and you lost the color, right? And then you had to go in there and reprogram it, because once you lose that color or you lose that gobo or whatever, you got to go and change it now, or else you're going to have a black dance floor for no reason, no lighting. So yeah, we're in a different place. SoundSwitch is good. Again, I don't have a problem with SoundSwitch. I need to make that clear. SoundSwitch is a very good program. I just want to be able to manually change things on the fly. Cannot do that. I'm sure they will update it at some point and finally make that available, but they haven't yet. And that is a turnoff for me. If I want to just change my Gobo preset, I should be able to without having to go into 14 panes to do so. You know, and SoundSwitch, a little bit of resource hog, a little bit. Anytime I've ever had a problem with Serato, it's always been when SoundSwitch was plugged in. Always. So I do like the fact that the WMX1 doesn't require it to be plugged in. They do need to, and I know you can download your profiles and play it off, but it's just SoundSwitch is designed to be used with the computer. Anyway, all right. Since everybody's acting like, it's complaint day and you have a problem with it, that's my cue to go then. Sorry for, giving you more. My phone hotline request. It's not just us DJs who are frustrated right now. DJ Lab in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. We are actually ending it because we have been on for a while. But appreciate you for stopping by. As always, it's 12:28. That still gives me 30 minutes before my first call. And hopefully my first call is not a Google Meet because I don't want to look at anybody at the moment. Let's see here. Google Meet. I'm going to be stuck in this chair all day. I'm going to be stuck in this chair that keeps dropping down and clients are going to be like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? I'm like, oh, nothing. So, tell me about your day. What's going on? Congratulations on your nuptials. How's everything been? Wait, hold on. Let me just, no, I'm actually 5'10". I know it doesn't feel like I'm 5'10", but I'm actually 5'10". Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyway, so I am going to go eat. I got to edit some videos. Thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate it as always. If anybody's local, where am I at this weekend? I'm in the Valley DJing at Coppermine on Friday night. I actually have 2 gigs. One's a private and then one's Coppermine on Friday night. I have a private gig on Saturday. The 20th, I'm DJing at Brizo's Bar and Restaurant. That's in the Marina Del Rey. Come get some good food and come hang out. If you are. Then I got private event on the 27th, private events on the 28th. So I haven't locked down any other outside locations yet. So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm sure it'll be great. It should be for me if I make it through without yelling at anybody. And this weekend, have great parties. It's very important. Have great parties. All right, y'all. Thank you all for the super chats. I appreciate the people that have contributed. Thank you for the people that are members. And if you are still looking to be a member, hey, click on that member button, click on the join button, or click on my main profile, and then you'll see the member or join button. Thank you guys for all hanging out today. I appreciate you. We'll see you soon. Peace out.